how are you able to like get to the bud tenders and separate yourself? You know, because that Top Shelf, I won't rattle off all the brands, but I mean, it's
crowded.
It's crowded, right?
It's fine. It's crowded, and a lot of it is great. Let me tell you, and it's a lot of it's unique. But for us, we look at one, giving back, but two, I've got Ricky, our VP of marketing. I've got Brendan, I've got Nico, I've got these guys that are in your shops all the time and actually talking to bud tenders. And then they do things outside of work. This has to come naturally. I'm not telling my team to be like, go make friends, but like it really has to be naturally. And it is natural because I think both parties are really enthusiastic about cannabis. And so that means that you're hiring folks that are really passionate about selling and talking about cannabis. I mean, look at Gutta Gone. I mean, look at these guys.
Shout out to Gutta Gone.
Look at Gutta Gone. I love him so much. Like, but look at these guys that have like really built not only, you know, and we both have done this. We have folks, we have Spencer, we have folks that have kind of their own following as a person, and then they build a community around them for Catalyst, build a community around them for CAM. So we kind of let them build their own self-brand and integrate the cannabis brand into their self-brand.
No, there's definitely
what starts, the rock stars.
Yeah,
that's your capos.
What starts to happen is like it's kind of like I guess, you know, the equivalent would be a good bartender, right?
Yeah,
you have a good bartended, right?
Exactly.
You know, and it's like, you know, there's more uniqueness, I think, to cannabis and more knowledge that you, like, the bartender doesn't tell you what's in the vodka or anything, right? But I think the same idea, like bars could be made or break on the bartender, and then people come in because they're like, oh, I like that bartender, I'm going to go there. Now it's to the point like we're like our really best guys and girls, people will wait. They'll let someone skip, you know, just to get, and then they build this relationship over time, especially the heavy smokers. You know, they might be in there 3-4 times a week.
Because that person's not going to recommend something bad, or they really know what they're looking for. Like, okay, and it's not about bad. It's about preference and taste. Right. So it's not about bad or good. So that's what I have really learned, at least the last, like, 20 years. That it's what's good for somebody could be horrible for somebody else. Like, you know, like I can't smell Tangy from a mile away, but it could be somebody else's, you know, favorite thing on the planet. So I think that having that relationship between your cultivator, retailer, brand, bud tender, customer, and then tying in the brand back into the customer. I mean, I think at our next event we were saying like, let's bring the top 20 for every brand, like the top 20 customers. You know, really celebrate the capo.
We're talking about now doing the same thing, Catalyst Count or something, because now we have the data. We know who it is.
We have the data, so like let's make something special for these top 20 customers that come in. They're loyal to CAM. They're loyal to, you know, and then loyal to our collabs. There's so many like integral things that we can do together that really will get us out of, I mean, we're at 62%. I mean, that we're able to survive survive this. Yes,
we're still here, so
me
you
too.
know, we're still talking. You know, hopefully we get to keep going. So, you know, I like what you said, and these guys that are off camera that are filming this right now, they did this really cool thing where they went around to the capos and they were like, well, you know, what's your secret, right, or whatever. And you know, the cool thing that I've gone through the list and I've looked at it and tried to figure out there really is nothing that, like, you know, are men doing better than women, or is this there's nothing, right? There might be some people with perceived advantages that, you know, maybe an attractive female would do, but it's not necessarily the case.
It's not true.
It's what you said. And I think their answer, it was just interesting. And I was actually just watching the content that they had put out, and they were saying what you said. Hey, I just try to figure out what they want, get into their head, right? Figure out what they're trying to get at. And to your point, like, everybody's different. And
also, they were betting on the fact they don't want to come back and say, hey, that thing that you gave me was terrible. Right. Like, you know, so that's, I think, you know, that integrity and how important and how, you know, it's expensive and that someone's spending their money, and understanding that you're building this thing where the customer's like, hey, I'm putting this in your hand, especially the new ones, especially the people that are just coming into cannabis for the first time. They're going to have a stellar experience at Catalyst. I mean, I've witnessed it firsthand. It's like people come, like I've never had a gummy, I've never had an edible, I've never tried, you know, cannabis ever. Okay, well, why? You know, I've seen Josh. I've seen the way they talk to the customers and asking the right questions, and it makes me feel really good to know that our product is in all the right hands.